modern day masculine man, take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't break you, are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. What's up, Miss Carla? How you doing tonight? It's Wednesday night. We appreciate y'all for being tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. Miss Carla, talk to him for a sec. I'm trying to edit some, trying to share some, and it won't let me do it. Let's see. Let's close out real quick.
Hello, my loves. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. It's your coach, Carla Nicole. We are going to talk tonight about some really good stuff. I actually did this because Javon has requested that I talk about this this content. It's kind of funny because I'm usually the one that's doing all the deciding on what we talk about. But he was the one that kind of was like really kind of encouraging me to talk about what I kind of said on one of my shorts, just trying to get people to get a little more flirtatious, a little more intentional about love, relationships, what we kind of want in a man, or if we have a tribe of them, what we kind of want in the men that we are entertaining, or should I say are entertaining us. So he asked that I kind of talk a little bit about, how do we get people to get a little more intentional rather than assuming that they'll just have someone show up and just pop up out of the sky. So we're going to have some fun tonight. I think you're going to like it. So yeah, I think we're going to enjoy this topic. He has been kind of asking me to do this for a while. But I mean, when we talk about, what we're attracted to, what we like, I think we get kind of limited on how we see things. Oftentimes we'll have a certain type, quote unquote, and then lo and behold, we might get a newfound awareness on something that we didn't know about ourselves. And so I'm constantly trying to encourage people not to get so bombarded on what you think you know about you. Get a little more present and learn that, you might have these stipulations on what you don't want and all this stuff. And you might find out that your prejudices are stopping you from having anything. So we're going to talk about it.
Well, there it is, y'all. I'm trying to share this thing. For some reason, my page won't let me share it. So
yeah, you've been having some problems with you. Is it YouTube or is it Facebook?
It could be Facebook. I think it's Facebook and the connection to StreamYard. However, that could not be it. Let's see. New to streaming. Looking. No. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for, G. Yeah, but either way, we're going to go ahead and get rolling because, like I said, if it don't let me share it in this way, we ain't going to worry about it. But
right.
I definitely asked her to speak on this topic because a lot of times I feel like women go to two places, to the club and to the bar. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's the only place they feel like they can meet a man at the club, at the bar. And I feel like that a lot of the times women say this number one saying, when I'm dressed up looking nice, men are like this. But when I go out just on a regular day, when I'm just looking with my regular hair pulled back, seem like men are always all up in my face. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
That's what I want women to have more of a clear idea of. And then even as a man, me thinking about as a hunter looking for women, when am I looking for women? And then just my general responses to you and our conversation. So you can go ahead and pop it off. And every now and then I'll look back and see, can I share this thing for viewership? But you go ahead and pop this thing off.
Well, yeah, I guess the most important part for me is that we don't lose sight on the fact that a lot of times, because I think I told you many times when we're talking about women, we women have a tendency to live in fantasy. And so we have this image in our head as to what we think it's gonna happen, and our hope is gonna have it happen, and
Mm-hmm.
our wishes is gonna make it happen, and we end up finding out we're like 65 and single, no man keeping us company. There's no man even, hitting our phone. There's no man actually sitting back and saying, hey, how are you tonight? Are you free for some company? Can I come by and spend some time with you? We don't have that because we have this assumption that we're going to be wooed by a man just because we want one. And that's not how it works.
Or assuming because
About what we want, first and foremost.
mm-hmm. And assuming that, like you said, I talked to a sister probably about 3 months ago. It kind of made me sad. And she's a average sister, plain Jane, nice looking sister. Mm-hmm. But I would say she really lacks kind of personality. She's kind of a boring chick. You know what I'm saying? And she asked me why did I think, and I was doing a one-on-one with her, and I was telling her, I said, well, you don't smoke, you don't drink. Mm-hmm. I said, the places she go out, she really just go to church. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, you're just kind of too good for me. Meaning you're boring. Like the guys it's like the guys that would like you, you're gonna be too boring to. But the guys that you like, you know what I'm saying, are too fast for you. You know what I'm saying? So the guys that approach her is like the little corny kind of church guys, and she don't really like that type because she been to college. But I'm like, to a regular dude, you kind of boring. And she kind of got sad because she was like, wow, that's crazy. Because in her social setting, she was like, she haven't been on a real date like in like 7 years.
Wow.
She was like, she gets some, hey, what's up, and phone numbers, and may give her number out, and the guy call and ask to come over that night, or
right,
like wanting to fuck quick. Mm-hmm. Like in 7 years, this woman who is not fat, who is not ugly, who is attractive, says that she has not been on a real date where somebody got her number and met her or took her out in 7 years. Now that shit would have me, you know what I'm saying? And I read, and let me say this real quick. I was reading this study about the new age millennial, not the millennial, the Generation Z guys. Mm-hmm. It was like saying they only have sex like once every 3 months because a lot of them are just not desired. They're not the type of man that women desire. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I couldn't imagine not having a man, if I was a woman, not ask me out or being taken out to dinner in 7 years. Is that common?
Yes. Unfortunately, Javon, yes. And let me explain to you why. Because I'm going to give you something that you probably know, but we really never talk about, we rarely talk about, is that there is a toxin of information given to young women early by the elder women that is really misguiding. So what we tend to tell our young girls or our young women that we love, oh, he'll show up and be a good girl, and they are the women that don't have a Mr. Nothing around. Now, when I said Mr. Nothing, I'm going back because I'm from an era I'm a 70s baby. So I was raised old school. Mm-hmm. And my godmother, she had my godfather, Daddy Bill. He was my godfather. And then he passed away. Then she had Mr. Arthur. Then he passed away, and then she had another Mr. something. I can't remember. But
Yeah.
anyway, she always showed me that although Daddy Bill passed, she mourned and then she moved on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't slight herself or stop her sexy or end her sensuality. She continued on with her sensual self and
Yeah.
realized I got needs too as a
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
But the problem is, we'll tell young women, "Oh, just be hopeful and keep your legs closed and your panties up and your dress down and all this nonsense." So what that's doing is that's keeping women closed-minded. And
Mm-hmm.
so if a man is approaching and does want to spend time with you, we automatically are like, "No, we can't. Oh, we can't do
Yeah,
that."
I can't even date. I can't even date unless and then
Right.
this is something I want to get into later on, but I just want to throw it out there to you because it's hit my head. The way you say women are taught to keep your legs closed and wait and he'll come, blah blah blah. That's kind of
Yes.
like the church. You
Yes.
know, a man find
It
a
is church
wife, a
based, yes.
woman don't go out looking.
Right.
So it definitely will make a woman who has a nice, bright personality who may shoot her shot at a man
Right.
or smile or be more flirty or, come look at me. You know what I'm saying? It may quell that. You see what I'm saying? But I want you to get into that a little bit later. But go ahead.
But I wanted to mention that because the elder women have these women hopeful, the hope goes for years, decades. And I'm talking about, I have heard personally 70-year-old women still trying to squeeze in a wedding dress, still
I've
hoping that
seen
their
it.
husband's going to show up. And I'm like, "Ooh, honey, I think you're out of season for that. Have you paid attention to your age? Have you paid attention to what men out here are desiring?" There's a lot of misters out of here that, they, if I'm door dashing, might holler at me like, "Hey, you're the prettiest door dasher I done seen out here." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, thank you."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't. But like I told her, like I tell these elder women, I'm like, you have to get back to wanting to spend time with men. And the problem is we're having way too much girl time and not enough men time to talk to a man. Have a man who really cares about you to give you the raw truth and not get offended, but heed it and make some changes.
You know, one of the things that's the craziest, and I don't know if it's like a double stereotype or what they call what's the thing? A double standard. Yeah. When I see a woman a certain age still out here talking about they looking for a man at a certain age and what kind of man they want, it just be so distasteful. It just looks so distasteful. Like I'll give you a perfect example, like how Lisa Ray and Vivica Fox be. It looks so distasteful. It's like sit back and chill at this point, yo. But like you're saying, that's not the way to go. And that's what women have been told for years. So that's not the way to go. So I want to get into that because when I see a man that's older out here looking for a woman, it's like he kind of just fishing in his own way. He ain't making no noise. Like, I
Right.
don't want no woman that's not gonna do this and not vocal. He just kind of spending his old school money buying pussy here and there, dating here and there, sugar daddying around.
Right,
He
right,
not
right.
really out here talking about what he ain't going to accept from no woman and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He just doing his thing. And that's why I guess when I said look distasteful for a woman, I guess because women are still more like stating their standards at that age. It's like, yo, look how old you are. What you know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen, you can be
God,
sexy. You can be sexy and classy. Let me tell you something. One of the things that I've learned with having my own personal spiritual gifting and my whole purpose revolves around really bringing men to their spiritual awareness and things of that nature. When I discuss with men certain things, I've learned that men really do desire having the woman to really want to be sexy. What our problem is we've been taught that it is not okay to put on a push-up bra, to have a little shapeliness, to wear a sundress, to be sexy. We can show a little booty shorts and stuff like that. We can do that. You don't have to be out here just holier than thou, and we can't show nothing. We can. The
Now, I
problem is
think
it comes down to being classy. That's what it comes down to.
now, do you think you're dating yourself and you say like you're a 70s baby? Like,
Mhm.
do you really think women of today's age, you know what I'm saying? Because what I want to know is also when you're saying women, what demographic age range are you saying you're
I
speaking
will go.
this
I will
information to tonight?
Well, for tonight, I would say any woman between, because my baby girl, my daughter is 26, I would say any woman between the ages of 26 and up can really take this information and really work with it.
So let
Because,
me okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
So why not start at 18? Is you allowing for a whole phase? Like what
Yeah,
why?
well, 18 to 26, you're still kind of finding your way. You're
Okay,
not really, you're
that's
kind
what
of
I was asking.
floundering. You're really not sure. And a lot of times we don't even have our brains fully developed by 25. So as you see, I'm saying 26.
And I can understand that because, like I always said, there's two types of woman. There's a Holly and there's a Celie. We're not
Yes,
talking about looks. We're talking about a Holly from
yes,
18 to 26. If you a Holly, some man and already snatched you up and married you just because of looks.
period. Yes,
Yeah, like a trophy piece. Like
yes,
you might not stay, and that's what I want to talk about that one day. How women don't understand that a man, a wife, a woman off looks that day and don't care about her credit score, how many kids she got,
hmm,
what, how many bills she owes, student
yes.
loans. Like if you
Some
are
don't.
Holly, you're gonna get wifed instantly, and then if you break up, you're gonna get wifed again and again.
Period.
You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? That's just how the game go.
that's how the game
Uh,
goes. Because some women have what I call the sincere spirit.
yeah.
When a woman has a sincere spirit, she has a tendency to, no matter what, a man will just cover her.
Mm-hmm.
It's not effort on her part. She just carries an energy that's really sincere, and a
Yeah.
man draws to that, because remember we talked about the maternal instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Men draw to that. So because they draw to it, they just automatically cover her. And they're like, I wasn't even planning on doing all this with a woman, but because of you
Yeah.
and your energy, I just want to be with you.
Yeah, you got me. That's the
You got me.
and what you calling that sincere spirit, that's exactly what men would say. She's just a wifey type. You like you
Yeah.
see her, you like she's a wife. You can see it on her. These women be married 3-4 times, like you
Easy.
said. Mr. Bill died, and you know what I'm saying. It kind of remind me of the movie, the book that Eyes Were Watching God. And then when I saw the movie with Halle Berry, have you seen that or
Which
read?
one is it called?
The Eyes Were Watching God is by Zora Neale Hurston. It's a
I have
book I
not seen
read.
that book. No, that movie. I
Man,
haven't seen
you
it.
watch the movie. We gotta have a talk about it.
Okay.
It's literally this woman has 3 relationships, and
Mhm.
all of them have their purpose for their stages. Oh, you gotta watch it. I'm gonna take
It's a concurrent relationship with three different men.
yeah. I don't even want to say too much about it. Their Eyes Were Watching God. Halle Berry is the star. You're gonna love this
I
shit.
already know.
And it's kind of like your life. Like from what I know about you, that's how I know you're gonna like it. But you know, I like the idea of having this advice from 18 to 26 because I mean from 26 and up, because that's when you
Right.
should know who you are, what you want. You
Should
should
be
have had a
pursuit of purpose.
yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Fucked over a couple of
Oh
times by
yeah.
a couple of guys. That way, you know, I don't need to chase the handsome guy. I don't need
Right.
to chase the money. I got burned chasing money. So by
Yeah.
26, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, let's get this shit together. I understand that. But go ahead.
And so for me, like I think it's important and really valid that we don't get too caught up in the fact that relationships can develop really solid without being too much. But
Yeah.
I think we need to get out of the fantasy land and get to reality. So one of my biggest things for, when I coach women is I pull them out of the fantasy and I
Mm-hmm.
make them come to, as far as, I need you to come into reality and understand that a man is not just going to show up in your life. And like you mentioned about the one lady that you said she has like a more of a dry personality.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I would encourage her, or you can even consider talking to her about, is coming into learning something about herself that she may be holding back from herself. Because normally when you're a dry young woman, or you haven't been able to be flirtatious or sexy or welcoming in your spirit just for men to approach you, 9 times out of 10, that really hinders your ability to get more approached and more men to come to you,
Mm.
because they don't know that men don't want to be denied, and they definitely don't want to be refused. So a lot of men will be like, well, I don't know about going to her. She might say no or whatever. But if you can get to the point where you're like, hey, thank you for, holding the door open, or hey, handsome, how are you today? Or when you get a little more comfortable in your
Yeah.
own spirit, you'll start to see men really start to love, man, she's like, okay, she's the crazy cool girl. Yeah, yeah.
But notice how you said that. You notice how you said that. Hey, handsome, thank you for holding it. You just described having swagger. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what women don't understand, that
Yes.
it's men have to have swagger, and there are a lot of men that don't have it.
They don't.
Hey, Miss Lady, how you doing? Can I hug? Let me get that dough for you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And don't speed up now. I'm gonna wait.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that's something I always do when I hold a door for a woman and she a certain distance back. Naturally, a person is going to speed up, and I always smile and I said, "Don't speed up now. I got time. I'm
Right.
enjoying the
Right.
view." Something like that, just something
Yes.
like that, and it's like it
Yes.
always work, and it's like
Absolutely. And
it's not
see,
having lines; it's just having swagger. So what you're
yes,
saying is, you can't teach women swagger.
you can.
You think
Absolutely
so?
can. Oh,
You think you
absolutely.
can? Because
Because
I be
what I
thinking you can't
first,
teach men swagger.
well, you can. Let me tell you how. With
Okay.
women, it's usually challenging for them because of shyness, and they're not confident. But this comes from lack of being honest with self.
Yeah.
For instance, if I have a flaw, right? We'll just say a flaw on the physical, in my on my physical body.
Yeah.
For instance, I got a flaw. What I can do is learn to appreciate the flaw, whatever that flaw is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
appreciation, come to terms with it by doing something extraordinary for that flaw. For instance, if you have, we'll just say you don't like your hands, or you start
Or
getting your nails
keloid
done.
on your ear. What if you got a keloid on your ear?
Yeah, like I have a keloid on my, matter of fact, I got a keloid on my knee. So that's funny. I busted my knee open when I was like little at my
Uh-huh.
grandparents' house. So I have a keloid on my knee. Perfect example. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care about it. I just make sure that my legs are well oiled, shaved. You can't change it. It's what it is, but it's a part of me. Now, if it's something like that, it's just make sure you smell good, you look good, and you embrace it. And if a man says, "Hey, what the hell's on your knee?" Be like, "Man, I had a fall when I was a kid. Why don't you kiss it? Maybe it'll make me feel better." Something like that, to where
But
you
that's swagger.
actually
You
embrace
can't teach that, Carla. You can't teach that. Now listen, if you can, because I always say you can't teach swagger,
it. Yeah.
but if you can, it's gonna take a 4-year course.
I don't know about 4 years, but we give it a good, I would say, good 3 months.
Yeah, the
I
reason I said it's going to take a 4-year course, because when we were talking about rebuilding a woman, and having swagger comes from confidence, and confidence comes from consistently doing, getting hurt or accepted. See,
Yes.
my thing is, and I tell people this all the time. For me, just to holler, and if you smile, I won in my mind. If I get rejected, it's like I didn't have you before.
Right.
So
Exactly.
what the fuck am I sad for or scared of? If
Right.
I don't holler, I may not get nothing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
that comes from a certain confidence that I have on the inside. If you think it can be taught, we'll talk about that a little bit later or another show, because somehow when these women go to these places and start using these 10 tips, they're going to have to be able to carry a conversation with some men with charm or the type of men that they would like. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as a lot of women, the type of man that they really would want to like, they don't have the charm to be with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you like this type of guy. I was just telling my homegirl that. I said, you like a type of guy like me, but you can't cook. You're not neat. I said, a type of guy like me is going to require you to fucking change and be a woman and handle some fucking business. And you don't have that about yourself,
Hmm.
or at least you don't right now.
Right.
So when these women go to these places and do these things you suggest,
Yes.
they still going to have some type of personality, because if we can get our women going to these places, then, it's like, shit, you got to stand out in these places just like you got to stand out at the nightclub or the hookah bar.
Let me tell you something. My mother, she was one of the biggest flirts that I have ever met.
I could tell, because I could tell how you talk about your mom and dad. I could tell your mom was a super flirt. My wife is a super flirt.
My mom was a
You are
flirt,
too, though.
and I tell you what I would be so jealous of with my mom when I was young is her ability to wink
Mm-hmm.
and her ability to draw a man in from her scent alone. She used to wear this perfume called Pheromone, and that perfume was so expensive. I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
my dad would buy her the big old gift bag or whatever, and she'd take it back every year and just get a few oils. I'm like, Mom, why? She's like, I don't need all that powder and stuff. I just like my fragrance. But my mom would get stopped by all races of men,
Mm-hmm.
all ages of men, and they
Yeah.
would stop her. Excuse me, ma'am. Look, no disrespect. I don't know if you're married or not, but listen, you smell amazing. What is that? Here's the conversation right off the rip. She's talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I took a lot of her keys. And then, like I told you, I couldn't wink for years. And I practiced and I practiced and I practiced and I
Not
practiced.
like wink at a man, like, you mean like that, or
Yeah,
like,
like, hey
or like
baby.
that wink with a
Yeah,
lot
a
of
little wink
winks,
like,
like,
oh hey babe. Yes. It's like, what is that? What is my mom so capable of? What does that wink do for men?
yeah,
And every time I use it, it doesn't matter his race, his age. If I get a man to smile, I got him.
yeah. And that's kind of how it is, that how men say, once
Yeah.
she grin, I'm in, game begin. It's like, once she grin and smile, that's like a open invitation. Keep talking to me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But
Right.
you gave me some footnotes, so let's get into the
Let's dive
footnotes.
in. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you got it. You got it. I'm used to you producing the show, and I'm used to kind of reading what you say. So
Well,
you just got it. And
okay, we'll start.
I'll pace you, because I got to go to work, so I'll pace you.
No, you're good.
Go
So
ahead.
first off, let's talk about the availability for love, for your relationship status. I think a lot of women don't really know their availability. What is your availability for a man in your life? If we can get more solid on understanding what exactly we are available for, then we will start to realize, oh my gosh, I have a lot of hours available. So now once I understand that, how do I convey that to the potential gentleman that I want to spend time with? And I would say it's very important for women to start now to see what it is that they desire, not talking about money, not talking about looks, but the number one thing a woman needs to be focusing on is how she's treated. His looks and money is irrelevant, especially if you're an older woman, already got your own stuff. You already live in your own spot. You don't need a man for that. You're already set.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's talk about something that's really important, which is how he treats you.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain this because this is important. I'm not talking about a man that's catering. Because a
Yeah.
lot of
Exactly.
times that
Exactly.
catering man is usually that man that's just trying to do it to get you in.
Trying to smash.
Yeah, he's just trying to smash. He's not interested in you for real.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the man that listens to you, that talks to you, that spends time with you, and then he notices certain things and says, "Hey, I noticed that you kind of need your grass cut. I'm gonna stop by and cut it for you."
Yeah.
That was not something you asked for, as an example. Well, I have a lawn guy or whatever. Yeah, I know, but hey, tell him you don't need him this week.
Yeah, because when a man likes a woman, he wants to be useful to her.
Yes.
Like women always say, I don't want to be used. And my grandma said, you'd rather be used than useless. She said, if you can't be used, you useless. She said, you don't want to be misused or abused.
Right.
So it's kind of like once a man like a woman, that's a telltale sign, ladies. Once a man like a woman, he want to show his value to her.
Right.
And it's in all ways, because the last thing he want to do is just, if he really like you and he a real man, is just fork some money over at a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if he needs to see a situation where you need some bread, he will. But if your car being washed, your grass cut, the trash taken to the curb when he leave the house, there's so many ways a man is going to show you, look, you ain't got to worry about this if you goddamn fuck with me. Now I got you on this if you fuck with me. Hey, I got a homeboy. You could be saying something. Well, I had to take an Uber this morning. You know what I'm saying? And he said, "What's wrong with your car?" Right. You know what I'm saying? If he acts and he might not give you all the money. Right. He might say, "Well, I got a homeboy work on cars. I can have him come over there and look at that motherfucker." Right. You know what I'm saying? Yes. He's gonna make it known if he really likes you. That right there is something that I don't think about. I don't think about that as a man until you say it, but it's true. You said one thing that was very key to me, and I say this all the time. I said women really just want a man from 9 o'clock Friday night to 2 o'clock Sunday. Like somebody Friday night, we going out. I got him. I got a man. Yeah. And then he spend the night Friday night. Yeah. Saturday we get up, kick it, go get something to eat. Yeah. Spend the night again. Sunday we go to brunch. And that's it. I don't want to see this motherfucker no more the week. So availability, I always say a lot of women don't really want a man around constantly. They want something to do at certain times. So when you discussing a woman's availability, and then sometime a woman is so available that she want all of her free time to be with this guy. It's like this guy feels swamped. Like, damn, just because we kicked it this Friday, she's like, what you doing this Friday? What you doing this Friday? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I feel like we need to, I'm big about miogamy. I talk about miogamy all the time. And I always say that there's certain men that for women that we have to be honest about. There's certain men that will bring out the monogamous side of us. It's just what it is. They just fill up a lot of what our needs are, and then they dash well with the wants. Yeah. So that man may take up a lot of time to where we're just monogamous with him in that space and time. Doesn't mean we're a monogamous only woman. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying some men will draw us into monogamy. Yeah. Then there's other men that has this great talent of something like, you talk about how you're an excellent cook. So you come over here and you just cook it up. You do a whole, you just go all in. You got the chef outfit on, and you're doing this, and you get the roses, and okay, so you, as an example, would be a man that comes over and dazzles a woman with the chef shit. So now she's like, ooh, I love it. And so that space and time is designated for you, but she might have your chef expertise as a great thing, but she might have, a different one that puts it down after 3 a.m. And he's not going to make you monogamous, but he's going to make it orgasmic. So you're good with him for that time, and then when he goes home at 6, then you're good and ready to go for your day. And then, until, Friday or whatever, you got somebody else that you're dealing with.
Why is it what you explained so hard for women to just accept that may be what you got for right now?
Because we've been bulldozed and taught and programmed that we are only supposed to have one person and be married, or we're not shit. That's why. If you're not married, or you don't have a man, or you're just out here single and doing the whatever, what's her name? Diana Ross's daughter, you're just out here just humping on young men and all that stuff. It's like, whatever, man. At the end of the day, we have needs just like men do. It's no different. We have to be honest with self, what it is. Let's start at the beginning, where, I always talk about. We have to know our sexual truth. That's number one.
Okay. My thing is this. When women say all this programming, and this is why, I be feeling like women say that out loud, but in their real life, they should be able to do it behind closed doors. Like, say, for example, I know a lot of men in certain situations with women, and they just be like, this woman just kicking and screaming, like, we're not getting married. You're not going to be my wife.
Right.
You always want to see me. We go out of town. We do everything together.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But every fucking weekend or every 2-3 weeks, you tell me it's over. I can't be this, and this is not what I'm looking for. And then they write back, and it's like,
yes.
So why is she trying to make the man feel this way, when in her mind it's kind of like, well, I know society don't look like this, but the whole world don't know about this relationship? Or is it just a thing a woman have a temper tantrum ever so often, just to say, be my boyfriend, motherfucker? And then if you don't do it, 3 days go by and she back saying, I'm down on the team again. Like, what is so hard about? I have had women do me like that. You know what I'm saying? In the past, when I was, more out there having fun, you know what I'm saying? Right. Women say stuff to me like, well, this has been fun, and you can cook and all that, but I can't do this because, you married, and you can call me when you get ready to see me, but I can't. What if when I call you, if you can't see me, I'm gonna feel a certain way? I said, well, try calling me and seeing, and I might be able to come. Now, I'm not gonna be at nobody's mercy. I'm not gonna be just trying to call somebody and you tell me you with your wife, and it's like, okay, all right, I understand. I really like you. You're valuable to me. I thought you were cool. Right. I understand. I don't want to put you through this. I get where you're coming from. All right, bye.
Well, are you ready?
30 minutes later, I get a long ass text. You know what I'm saying? Every so often, they got to go off to be like, this is not what I'm. Why the fuck is so hard for a woman to see? Like, men know their place. Men be like, okay, shit. She ain't gonna marry me. She let me goddamn hit her. I might be the friend zone guy. I might be the sugar daddy guy. I might be the guy that can come by every now and then. But shit, I'm happy just to be in the goddamn
I'm happy for the space, yes. Well, like I said, here's the truth, Javon, and I don't know if any real women will say the truth, but a lot of women don't know their sexual truth. The problem is there's some women that really don't want to take the pipe like that. They may like you. They may like it. They may even really care about you. But in order to take you on as you being their main man, that means that they have to be intimate with you on a continuum. Yeah. And that's too much for them. They may only be okay with taking pipe once or twice every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If a woman doesn't know her sexual truth, then she's not really capable of telling you what she has to offer you. Yeah. What she's willing to accept from you. Most women can't be disappointed.
So let me
They're
ask you this.
disappointed. Their disappointed range of allowance is very low. Most women have a hard time being disappointed. This is why they refuse to allow a man to disappoint them. But what they don't understand is you got to disappoint you first. So no man ever does. If you don't
Wow.
know what it is you can't that you need or that you want sexually, and you can't convey to a man, look, I'm available, but I have a primary lover. And if he's in the house or he's in my space, you ain't coming through. I'm sorry. That's just not happening. As an example. Or here's the days I'm available. If you want to come and spend some time, these are my days. Okay? You let me know.
But
So now it's
it's
taking off all of the back and forth and the nonsense.
but you know what you just said, that's what men would love. But women say that's acting like a man. Like you said, hey, look, I got a primary nigga and we ain't married, but
Nope.
that's my top nigga, like on my list. So
Right.
we can get it in these days. You know what I'm saying? Or like the examples you just gave.
We can spend time.
Uh
There's nothing hindering me from going out to eat or going to breakfast or hanging out or spending a little private time with you or getting a little body work done. There's
but so
nothing wrong with that.
do you think women have a hard time saying that because that's they want to be wifed by every situation, so it's kind of like I gotta
Absolutely.
act like I ain't doing nothing because I want this guy to wife me, even if it's somebody they don't want to be wifed by.
Yes,
Really,
absolutely.
like I don't want him to wife me, but I won't tell him I'm messing with got a primary man because just in case.
Do you realize, Javon, how many women are in dire desire of marriage? I'm talking about die hard. They
And
can't
sometimes
eat, sleep, or drink without wanting to be a wife. But
and
then when you
sometimes
ask
it ain't
them
even
what is a
marriage.
wife, they can't answer it.
And sometimes it ain't even marriage. It's just want to be in a relationship, be
Yes.
claimed. You said something earlier when a woman know what kind of pipe that they can take. Now, this is something that I have heard from women, and I'm assuming I'm assuming some men have heard this. Now, I want to understand this.
It's very important.
Sometimes I be thinking it's a lie to boost a man's ego, but sometimes I be thinking it's real based on the fact that, say, for example, I was joking with my homegirl, and she was saying this guy she talking to and blah blah blah, and she like him and she's da 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 da, and they had sex before and was pretty cool, and now he been doing more and she's really feeling him. And I said, oh, you finna let him get to the bottom of that pussy now. You know what I'm saying? And she started laughing like, yeah. So it's like, as a dude, I it's like almost you can have a big dick or whatever, and you can pound as slow and try to get as deep as you can.
Right.
But if there's a point where a woman have to say, you know what, I like you enough to relax myself and let you get down in this pussy. And there's nothing. Yeah, there's no way you can get down there is if she don't relax and say, you can have me. It's like a woman saying, okay, you can fucking have me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Or so the point I'm making is, but I got to be graphic a little bit. Or when you're hitting a woman from the back and she just bend over and let you fucking have her and pound her like you want to, and she knows she's just doing that for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, women will say they don't like to go there because they know it's gonna fuck their heart up. Is that true?
Yes. Now let me tell you something that I did that I'm going to share with you that you're going to have to write this one down and keep it in your arsenal. You know, I used to do a lot of sexual conversations years ago on my YouTube channel. I wanted to be the next Dr. Ruth in our Black community because I felt like there's a lot of people that really don't know a lot about sex.
Mm-hmm.
But what I often like to explain is that a lot of females don't like penetration.
I know that. I noticed that.
A lot of ladies actually love oral only.
Or love the build up to fucking, but once you put the dick in them, it's like it go downhill. Like, damn
it gets better. It gets better. Now here's the clue though. Men, I try to let y'all know from the jump. If you are 6 foot or taller, just off of anatomy alone, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find yourself easily getting fell in love with because of the fact you're so endowed. Women on the inside, in their internal walls, usually can take about 6 to 6.5 deep. Now, does that mean anything bigger than that or larger than that? Does that mean that they can't? Of course not. That means they still can, but
That means they got to relax with you and
you
open
gotta relax. You gotta get used to it. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be aroused. You gotta be excited. So because of this information, I try to let men know 6 foot and taller, understand, gents, that you guys have a tendency to have to most likely never really feel a woman all the way until that woman is truly all about you. Because a lot of men that are 6 foot and up, they have usually 7 or longer, and that is a lot for a woman to take on vaginally in her walls. So, with that said, you now have to do more oral, more foreplay, more exciting stuff, more getting her ready and taking her here and doing this because of the foreplay. A lot of women aren't all that into penetration like that. And unfortunately, a lot of men aren't told this, so they don't know why do I have to just, I feel like I'm only put in like 4 inches of my stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy because I always joke. I said black women don't like big dick. They like big dicks to look at and suck, but not to be in them. You know what I'm saying?
It just depends on the woman. It depends on the woman.
Yeah, but it's a joke. I said so. Any nigga with a big dick that's flexing it online or walking around with them great friends, he fishing for men. I always say that if a man is trying to show that he's well endowed, he's fishing for men. Because if you're a well endowed man, you know that shit is fun for you to have a big dick, but you know you don't get the best sex all the time.
Well, having a big dick. If a woman really is into you or in love with you, she cares about you. And whatever size you are as her lover, she's very into it. Doesn't matter what size you are.
That's what I mean when I say relax and let you have her.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is when women are at that stage with a man, when they relaxing and let him have her and do whatever, that's when I think a woman would say, you know what? I'm letting this nigga hit the bottom of this pussy. I'm making love to this man. I'm doing all this for this man. Why wouldn't they just have it be easier for them to say, if I'm doing this, it's easier for me to play my position because I like this. Why is there a fight so strong? Like there's just saying that women always say, like, when you're talking to them, and some of it I know is trying to secure the bag, like how long is we gonna fuck around and when can I see you? Right. But women always say, what if I fall in love? What if it's too good? And I always said, I want the shit to be good. If we want it to be good,
right? That doesn't make any sense.
That's not gonna make no funny decisions behind you. It's like, and I don't want you to either. It's almost like, what if that dick drive me crazy? It's like they preface it, like so. If they know this, wouldn't this be something you want?
Women need to know their sexual truth, like I explained to you earlier. Their sexual truth allows them to learn something. One of the things that I tell women that if they really want to know their actual capacity sexually, they need to see what man actually, when he inserts inside of her, and a man and a woman can actually do this as an exercise, sexual exercise, to where he even learns her and she learns him at the same time. When he inserts in her and he asks her, let me know when I'm like at the capacity, when I stop, so I know where it is.
I can stop right here and swell the head up right there.
Right. So I know. So the man knows. And what that does for the man is it actually lets him know the entry point to how far he's going to be. Yeah. And then it allows the woman to be like, okay, so in that understanding of myself, and understanding that that's the capacity I'm at. If I'm more willing as he's penetrating and being more actually thinking about orgasmically moving the vulva and moving the vagina, I'm actually moving to give myself welcoming energy. It's all energy for real.
Yeah, because it's like you could tell when you could that's what it without being too graphic.
As a man,
You can tell when there's a little resistance. You can tell when it's a little tense. You can look down at a woman's stomach and see how they stomach, whether it's relaxed or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it all makes so much sense, but
and it also helps a man to feel important.
Feel important and feel good. Like he just stood Avery in her.
Know that you are enjoying it, not just about you. Because a lot of women will say, "Oh, sex isn't even for me." It's like, what are you talking about? You're supposed to also be orgasmic, enjoying and finding out about you. But the problem is because there's been so much, conversations around what a woman shouldn't do sexually. A lot of women are hindered and very uninhibited with sex. So they don't know what to do or how to say, well, actually, I kind of like when you do this, or, when you go a little deeper, it's kind of more exciting, or can you go deep a little bit and then back up a little bit so I can get to that space of understanding my capacity, or can we work together on this? Then it makes intimacy more exciting. And then let me just say, a lot of times, most people don't know that sex is for creative energy. That's what it's for.
That's literally what it's for.
Literally.
You said women need to know their sexual truth.
Yes.
What if they need to talk to men about their sexual truth.
Absolutely, yes.
That's what they really need to do more than anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's we're gonna have to have a conversation about that one day and have a panel, because I guess it's hard for people to talk about shit like that, because as a dude, I know I have a joke, and it's really true. If I can put all my moves on you, the pussy is mid. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can put all my moves on you,
right,
that's kind of like saying you're not fully into me, or because when I can't put my moves on you, it's like there's something happened. Like, most women, if they relax, they gonna make a man come quick. A relaxed woman will make a man come quick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No matter how he try to, let me try to hit it a little bit longer. Let me stop a little bit and stamina. When a woman is, if a woman can totally relax with you and y'all into each other, it's gonna happen quick. Or it's a situation where y'all could be doing it for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and soon as she relax, and it's like a thing where both of y'all feel it at the same time. It's like, up, she didn't relax. I dropped down in the second hole, and 4 more pumps, the man is coming. You know what I'm saying? So
because he knows that relaxation is a welcoming energy.
Yeah.
It's like a highway to heaven, isn't it? Isn't that what you call it, gentlemen? Don't y'all call it like, I went all the way deep and oh my God, and it was so good.
Step together.
Lord,
so let me ask you this. As we move forward, because we got, I don't want to say sidetrack, but a woman knowing her sexual truth, really, that's a real big discussion, because it's like a man, every man she meet is going to want to fuck. So that's kind of like, I can see how that's number one. Let's move forward.
Now, with the potential mate, intimacy is vital. And I think we talked about this before, but out of the potential mate and the man being someone that you don't just want for intimacy, understand that every man's not going to be your husband. So if you divorce the thought of only being his wife and realize that, can I be someone significant? Can I have a ray of importance in his life?
Yeah.
Can I matter? And once you get that, then the intimacy comes well. And you get so out of, trying to do all this, well, he can't do this and he can't do that, and I have to have this and all that stuff. You'll start to remove yourself out of that spatial thinking. And it is. It's a thinking that's really catastrophic, because most men want to be able to know that if I am in your space, if I am spending time with you, then I'm feeling like I feel important to you. What do you think?
I mean, I think a man knows the difference when a woman is spending time with him because she really, really like him, or because she's spending time with him because they've talked enough to have sex, or when he's a space filler. You know,
Right.
like you said, when you were saying a woman can tell a man, you know, well, I have a main person that I'm really with, and you can get in where you fit in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think a man can tell where he's at.
Right.
Like and I think a woman should be able to tell where she's at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think a woman can tell when a man is aggressively trying to move up and knock old boy out the way. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
trying to be in
Yeah,
competition. Yeah.
yeah, and vice versa.
Right.
So I definitely think a man is going to appreciate that time when he see that she is allowing him to move up, because we could tell how often she asks you to come over, or you know what I'm saying, and you know it's like, oh, okay, we could tell when she's bringing me a little lunch, a little more, or we can tell when she like, well, look, let me come clean your spot up. You know what I'm saying, or you know the things that that women do to show, hey, I'm trying to goddamn win a spot other than just fucking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think women need to come to terms with knowing their truths, the sexual truth for one, and knowing their purpose. Those two things are hugely impactful as to what happens in a love affair that you're trying to involve yourself with. Be it that it's one, that you're one-on-one with someone, maybe not married, but you're one-on-one with each other, or you have a tribe of men that you're dealing with. And it's very important that you have an actual understanding of purpose.
We're
And
gonna
then
have to
you have
get
an
you to say
understanding of
another
sexual
word.
truth.
Hey, listen, we're gonna have to get another word, because that just sounds so, but I get it. Like men used to say stable or my starting five. When you said tribe of men, I'm like, God damn, I'm thinking more than five. See, when a man said my stable, you might have 5 thoroughbred horses that you run, or you know, my starting five.
Five
When
is a
you
lot.
said
I think we
tribe,
have,
that seemed like more than goddamn 5.
well,
Shit.
five is a lot. I would say, like I said, my ballpark would be anywhere from 1 to 4. I think is reliable. But
And
and I think a person needs to be honest with self. They need to know their capacity too. So if we're going to talk about that, now that you mention that, that's important to know. How many can you lust for, and how many can you love?
yeah, I always say every woman got at least 3 men like in rotation, like for certain reasons, like you say, the lustful relationships, the love relationships, the provision relationships, the fun relationships. Another thing I want you to watch. Have you watched She's Gotta Have It, Spike Lee's series? Not the movie, but the series.
No, I haven't seen the series.
Yeah,
no.
you got to watch that too. It's like I'm gonna give you some homework, a couple of things, references. You got to watch.
Doing homework now, do you?
Yeah, you got to watch Their Eyes Were Watching God, and She's Gotta Have It. Just so I can know that there's a certain perspective that you have, because we're working together. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than you telling me, you know, watch this or peep this or listen to this, giving me something so that you can know the perspective that I'm on. So yeah, you got 2 homework assignments. You can binge watch She's Gotta Have It. I think it's 2 seasons.
I love it.
But
you know I'll do it too.
I know you are. I know you are. That's why I'm saying it. And then, but Their Eyes Were Watching God first. That's both of these are two major things that I think that every woman should watch, because it lines up with everything you're saying tonight. How to make yourself available. What's your sexual capacity? How much time you have for a man? What do you want? Can you play a position? Can you tell a man the truth? So those 2 homework assignments, oh man, you're gonna be like, yo, Jay, this shit is, I got so many more ideas, you know what I'm saying?
And you
But
do realize that a lot of women have a tendency to have a lot of trauma that they have in their lives that they really don't really talk about. It's unfinished. So in their unfinished trauma, a lot of times they come into relationships expecting a man to be okay with their madness.
yeah,
But I try to tell women it's important that, you make sure that you start to do your work, your self
yeah.
work, your inner work, what are you saying to you? Because,
Hmm.
like I said recently, it's very important that women that have been abused or have had traumatic relationships or abusive relationships or been in DV and all kinds of stuff,
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, the reason that they're in them is because their own internal dialogue to themselves is volatile.
yeah, yeah,
So their
yeah,
internal conversation with self is very violent. So when they meet or start to mingle with a gentleman, and he gets nasty or doesn't treat her well, it matches.
yeah. I definitely agree with that because I used to cook at the homeless shelter, not the homeless shelter, the domestic violence shelter for women and children once a year. And
So
when I would hear those women tell their stories, man, when you talking about accountability, these women, I would say I need every woman to go to a domestic violence shelter for women and children and hear them women talk, and you will
absolutely.
stop making up bullshit. The way these women would tell their story, my husband stabbed me twice. I went back because of this reason. They be so frank and clear and concise. Some women have said, listen, I graduated from high school. I ain't had no job. I was married, taken care of 20 years. I couldn't even imagine going out here starting to fucking work and find a job here. I stayed until da 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 da. I put up with some of them beatings. A lot of times the women would say that they started using getting beat as a form of control.
Yes.
Like when I tell you, these women would be like, oh, I would be like, I'm gonna do something so he'll beat me tonight. That way he can feel bad about beating me and I can get this or do this. And man, when you hear these women explain these situations, it's like, that's why I have no sympathy for when a woman cry and try to do that fake shit, because I didn't work with women who their level of accountability and telling the truth of what their part, like these women tell you what their
What
part
their part is, yes.
and being beat is. And I've never seen like that. I'm expecting the women to, he's a dirty motherfucker. Da, 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 da. I never expected to hear women explain what their part in getting beat is
Yes.
and why they stayed and continued to get
And
beat.
usually it's well
And
thought out.
oh, I was just about to say a strategic plan of getting my ass beat. I swear to God.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
that's why I say, I'm sorry, that's a side note. I'm passionate about that
Yes.
because I wish every woman could visit a shelter and hear them women say, oh yeah, I knew what I was doing. I would do this. And then, oh, once he hit me, I knew I had free reign to do this. Da, 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 da. There
It was
was,
it's 9 times out of 10 it's sacrificial. I actually created a
yes,
program. I created a program called the Red Flag Program, and I would actually work with the Islamic community. One of my friends that I was friends with before she passed away, bless her soul, she had me actually import my Red Flag Program in their actual church so that we could talk about how to bring forth and break women free from it. I've had clients, man, that I broke free. Like, hey, I told one of my clients, and she's still cool with me to this day. I told her, I said, listen, the difference between you and the woman dead in the grave is she stayed one day too long.
yeah.
Get
Those
out.
be strategic plans. It's almost like learned helplessness.
Yes,
It's like a man that is always begging and blaming the
it's
government
very
and
toxic.
blaming life
Very toxic.
and that's his game, and he don't mind going to jail. He don't mind getting put out. He don't mind life kicking him in the ass, so he can always strategically beg
And
and
Javon, when I
lean,
did the red
have a
flag
woman
program,
take care of me.
my program could heal some women out of that madness, and it was really gratifying. Until she passed, man, it was really I was making moves with it because I just wanted women to break free from it. It was awful.
Well, I think that's something we gonna team up on in the future because you know what I'm saying. My bears and bubbles and your life coaching, and then we both have a passion for that. You know what I'm saying? But
Got so much stuff in common. It's
yeah,
crazy. I don't even know how we didn't know each other before now.
yeah. I just think, like I said, when I see those women explain, like, yo, I was strategically getting my ass beat. Like, I knew when to do this.
Yes.
If I wanted this for the kids,
it's
you know what I'm
psychological.
saying? Like, I want, like, I've heard women say, I want this for the kids to go to camp. And I know he ain't got the money or ain't gonna spend, so I'll do some, let him beat my ass, and then he'll come to me and say, well, we gonna send Junior to camp because I know you want him to go to camp. So we, you know what I'm saying? Like getting what they want by being beat. You know what I'm saying? I was like, God damn. I never, ever, ever. I look at it as like this man just whooping this woman ass. You know what I'm saying?
Because most of the time it's always looked at as the man that's and let's not. I don't ever want to not address
minimize.
Also, men are also victims of it. Where there's good men that are getting beat the shit out of also.
Yeah.
Let's not just always make it look like it's just the woman that's the victim. There are men that are victims too. And
or pussy, starved for pussy. I see a lot of men that's just, I be like, man, you should just cheat, nigga. Man.
Oh, you know about sexual oppression? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Tell a nigga, man, go get you some pussy, man. God damn, when you come home from getting that pussy, you will look at her and you'll smile in your soul.
Sexual oppression is very unfortunate. That is a funny smile.
Oh yeah, smile in your soul. She look at you, you like, I'm gonna go grill out, baby. Everything is great.
Listen, whatever you want. Whatever
she like, yeah, and she like, why this motherfucker so nice to me, grilling out and cooking everything, and I'm like, it's because from what me and Mary and Sue had, I had them both. Ooh, wee! If now, you knew what I just did,
you don't want to have to raise a grown man. Let me also make sure I say this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to have to raise a grown man. You want to make sure that you are really making a effort to choose men according to your capacity and make sure that you're aligning with men that match you. It's very deep how a lot of people don't sit down and pay attention to how much, I thought that this man was going to be this based upon what he looks like versus how you're being treated.
Yeah.
Saying that because a lot of women will downplay a lot of shit based upon how fine he is.
Yeah. Or he looked like he should be doing this to women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, women be like, girl, he look like he's a gentleman. And that motherfucker.
Right, but he's not. But we'll steady, like I say, the fine ones always get away with murder because usually the woman downplays, he beats on me, but it's only once every 3 months or whatever. It's like he shouldn't be doing it at all.
Yeah, I told the sister, she was breaking down her life. I said, listen, there's two men that get pussy. Handsome men and men with money. If he's ugly, he's got some money. If he's broke, he's got to be handsome. That's just how the game go. I want to try something. Nothing Matters says, I watch She's Gotta Have It. Okay. Nothing Matters. You're on YouTube. I'm going to put this link right here. Bam, right there.
Bam,
Nothing Matters. If you can come in, I want you to just kind of corroborate. You don't have to talk about She's Gotta Have It, but corroborate that show is exactly what the game that she's laying down on women right now. And if women could get more like comfortable living in that space,
living in your sensuality, personally growing in your sexual self, realizing that you need men sexually, because actually when a man makes love to you, has sex with you, or finds appreciation in you as a woman, what that does for you as a woman is it really enhances your confidence. What that then does is it enhances your creative energies,
Yeah.
your femininity, and your confidence.
If not, nothing matters. Whoever. I want to kind of get a guest in to ask you a couple of
Yeah,
questions.
guess come on.
Give a shout out to Chris Reed. Somebody said, well, you need to thank the people with the one night stands that really knocks the dating market down. And also thank friends with benefits. Hey.
Is he in Dayton, Ohio? Because that's not far from me. That's literally like 35 minutes away.
Yeah, I was just assuming. I'm glad you threw that out there because I was like, my man spelled Dayton wrong, but he's probably spelling it like Dayton. Yeah.
If he's in Ohio, he's not that far.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a situation where when it's all said and done, because it's 10:10, I'm about to have to get out of here. But I wanna keep moving down the list. Or if we had to pick up on that, go to the next one. Just go to the next one. I really like the list.
I do too. You know, we always have some good stuff. Now, let's be clear. Femininity isn't about lace and lashes. It's about presence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talk about lace and lashes all the time because, you know, I'm confused as to why women's eyelashes have to touch their eyebrows. I think that's outrageous.
Yeah, like mascara. Like whatever happens is just sing mascara.
My daughter always says, Mom, you keep your, you do your stuff natural, Mom. I'm like, okay, but what's wrong with it? I'm confused. Why do we have to have lashes on our eyebrows? But anyway, I think if we create an understanding that we have to be sensual women, to where we're welcoming the energy from the man. And then what do you think about femininity? When a woman is welcoming or she's flirtatious with you, how do you respond to it? Javon, I guess we should ask you. How do you feel about it?
I'll use my wife for example.
Okay.
When I first met my wife, I always thought my wife was very sexy. She was flirtatious. And she could get a man's attention and a certain type of man attention. Now my wife is still flirtatious, but she's more girly. It's like it's a certain thing. It's a certain level of sexy and girliness. Mm-hmm. If it's too much sexy, it's a turnoff.
Right.
If it's too much girly, it's corny.
Right.
It's a certain what's the word? Correlation of sexy and
girly.
Femininity, girly. So when I see a woman that's trying to be sexy, I'm immediately turned off because you can tell if she's trying to be sexy.
Right.
Now I can see a woman that's being herself and that's sexy. So how can I explain this?
More authentic.
Yeah. Like when you were saying, and that's someone I was saying you can't teach the women. Like for example, any man watching you on this show know that you have the game down of how to mix sexy and girly and classy in a bowl and get seen and get noticed. Like when you said earlier today, when the guy opened the door, oh, thank you, handsome. Anybody know that right there is enough swagger, sexy, funny. It lets you know that she's funny. Yeah. I've been around some women that were and I don't know why I've always been attracted to this type. And I guess
can't help it.
Well, what I'm saying is that woman that is hard for, meaning like I was a nerd growing up in school, like really just athletic, but I was always reading. I get 26 Jeopardy questions on Jeopardy. So I was always that smart girl that's silly and quirky. You know what I'm saying? And she's funny and she laughs. She might be a little uncoordinated, but just her being herself.
You loved it.
So fucking sexy to people. I'll tell you who kind of got that vibe, but it just don't work for her. Tracy Ellis Ross. She's got silly enough, quirky, you know what I'm saying? Just enough girly to be sexy. Yeah. But lately she's been trying to be sexy.
Right.
And when a woman is trying to be sexy, when a woman smiles and is inviting That's what's sexy. I remember I was working with Chris and Lynn on the album, and we were talking about being sexy. And there were times where I was like, y'all really don't know what sexy is. And that's why when I was saying my wife, she's even more sexy to men now and attract a whole different echelon of men because she figured out how sexy to a man is when a woman is inviting.
Yes.
Just not fucking mean.
Yes.
Now, if
so
she's
we're inviting, and here's the other part, the real secret ingredient. You know, you just gave some Lowry seasoning to what you're saying, but I'm going to top it off with just a little bit of dash of oregano, which is we're going to talk about appreciation.
Yeah.
When we appreciate a man, he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. He's like, oh,
just his presence. Yeah.
Oh my God. You said you appreciate men? Where the hell have you been all my life? So yeah, so men, yeah, when you
and that's exactly, you just said it, what I was summing up to say.
Yep.
Same way women are so used to getting catcalled. Hey, look at that ass, mama. Right. When a man approached him, they kind of like from the back. I'm not interested. It's like they're so pissed off, and that's how men are. Men are to the point where we're so pissed off with women trying to be sexy and stand and pucker their lips and do their eyes a certain way.
And as we're seeing, a lot of these cosmetic surgeries has gone wrong.
Yeah, we so fucking sick of that. When you see a woman smile, hey, how you doing? You open the door for you, and she said, thank you. Man, that's sexy. Sexy is feminine, inviting. I remember growing up, my teachers, boy, I was so attracted to my motherfucking teachers. Those kindergarten, those first and second grade teachers, those women that wore dresses, their hair looked the same every day. And they come in, sweetheart, come in, young man. But they were stern. Boy, I knew what type of woman to want when I was a little boy. Literally, because I grew up in a family of pretty ass women who were cussing and smoking reefer and drinking and fighting. So, you know, the women in my family were super beautiful.
Right.
But they were tomboys, but the feminine woman, man, if you show me a woman that got on a dress with some flowers in it and she know how to smile, oh, it's over.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yes.
A woman with a dress and some flowers and she's smiling, ain't got the screw face, being mean, welcoming, inviting, appreciative, thankful.
And femininity, remember, Javon, femininity is felt. So it's like a man can feel it. It's not something that you have to say, but if I do teach women how to become more feminine, what I first have to get them to do is become more authentic. And in their authenticity comes from what? Learning about who they are as a woman. Learning about their
going back to that.
All of those things have to happen.
And you're right, because it goes all right back to, I tell women all the time, listen, can't nobody be you like you. I promise you. Can't nobody be you like you. So if you be your authentic self, that's sexy. I think women have got caught up in the thinking, I can put on beauty.
Yes.
I can put on being attractive.
Right.
I can put on a personality. No, be yourself.
Be you, yes.
And I promise you, the guy that like you really gonna like you for you. Absolutely. He may not like you when you take those lashes off. He might not like you when you take off your little tranny talk. He might not like that. But if you be you, can't nobody be you like you can be you. Miss
I love that. Well, I know you have to get to work.
Give us one more, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get myself together. I
know you have to get to work, so I wanted to let you know. I don't know. I haven't told you anything because I've been kind of keeping it in my back pocket. But why don't you take a look at the private chat real quick? And then while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you that it's important to be visible, be valuable, and be vetted. Um, Real men are watching how we are handling our visibility. So, what I mean by that is in our visibility, meaning like how we are, what we come across as, is very, very moving to a man when he can see that, ooh, my goodness, you really give a damn about yourself. You care about yourself. You can express yourself. Men want to see that when he's dealing with you, he's not dealing with a fraud. He
Yeah.
wants to know that the woman's authentic. And in her authenticity, keep it real and keep it truthful. When you tell a man, this is what it is in my life. Yes, you came into my life right now. It doesn't mean that you're not important. Doesn't mean you're not valid. Doesn't mean what we have isn't special. But in order for you to fit, I need you to fit right and lock into the alignment we are. And that what that does is that then it helps it to evolve into its most highest possible way.
Yeah.
Without us trying to force it to be something that it's not.
Yeah, I definitely looked at the private chat. Yeah, we got a new Ranting Raving podcast page. We got a Ranting Raving.
That's our actual YouTube channel,
and
and mind you, it is almost over 6,000 views right now.
Okay,
just off of our clips.
and I look, I'm seeing the clips on here, and I didn't even know that you have been clipping this shit. So that's the. So yeah, family, what we're gonna do is we're gonna transition. You know what I'm saying? And some people be scared to transition, but I'm like, shit, we start from the ground up and build from the ground up. You know what I'm saying?
We also have an email address. We have a Patreon now. Listen, we're going to end up having a lot going on, but
we're gonna be putting this shit out here. So I'm gonna call you and we're gonna talk about that. And
but I wanted you to see it because you haven't seen it.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm seeing, like I said, that one of these joints got 1,000 views on it. Yeah.
Listen, Javon, I'm not even gonna lie. I about pooped my pants because one has over 2,000 views.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm gonna be saying that, hyping that up, and we're gonna just try to get that out there. Yeah, one of them got 1.1. Yeah, I didn't even know this was out here.
I know. I surprised you. I didn't say anything. I'm like, he probably thinks I'm not. You didn't know all the work I've put in. You have
Yeah. That's what's up. I appreciate it. So family, y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know my saying. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, and we will see y'all
next Monday. We have Marriage Mondays, so don't forget Marriage Mondays.
Marriage Mondays. Then we got Tuesdays, Tough Talks with Trav.
Tough Talks with Trav. I love all of our shows. Our shows are rocking. We're rocking like we've been doing this forever.
You already know what time it is. Yes. So I'm going to give it to y'all like this. Naziramba. Like Martin said. Eddie Murphy said, I got denied. Please. Y'all be good, family. We'll see y'all next week. Appreciate y'all.
Peace, guys.
Bye, Miss Carla.